Well, hello and welcome everybody to Flicker Effect. Tonight we are live. We are going to be talking about all the big news coming out of San Diego Comic-Con this weekend, and especially the Marvel Hall H panel that is happening right now as we speak. But first, I'm Dave Lott, by the way. Joining me tonight is Michelle Hillard. How's it going, Michelle?
Hi, everybody. Hello.
Hello. So yeah, we are live again. So if you're listening to this in the future, we did stream this live on YouTube, but it is Saturday night of San Diego Comic-Con weekend, and we decided let's jump on here, hang out, talk about all the news that has been going on this weekend. It is also just the two of us because Bobby and Yasha are actually at Comic-Con, unlike us. And in fact, they are in Hall H right now. Talking, or what am I saying?
They're not talking.
They're not talking. They are attending the Marvel Studios, the big Marvel Studios panel that happens. I was going to say every, Saturday night at Comic-Con, but they have skipped some years here and there. But yeah, they are in attendance, and Bobby has been keeping us up to date with what's been going on. And we'll just start with that since the panel is happening right now. We're like 30 minutes in.
Right.
I guess they started the panel with a choir coming out singing like a prayer with a bunch of Deadpools, I guess, running around.
Nice.
It sounds like Kevin Feige said pretty early on that they're going to be talking about 3 movies during the panel. And they started with the new Captain America film that's coming out. I guess Harrison Ford was on stage, sounds like.
That's always awesome.
They announced who Giancarlo Esposito is playing, because that's still been kind of a mystery.
Oh, yeah.
He's playing Sidewinder, the leader of the Serpent Society.
Oh.
Are you familiar?
I am not familiar with that, no.
I'm not either.
I don't, my Captain America knowledge is definitely not expansive.
No, nor is mine. But I guess they did show a scene that gave them a really good look at Red Hulk.
Okay.
Showed a scene. Countries are fighting over the celestial Tiamat and the new resource adamantium. Now, after that, the full cast for Thunderbolts is on stage, which is I think where they are right now. I think right now they're in the middle of a Thunderbolts presentation with the cast is there.
That's that's quite a.
I have to imagine if they're talking only about 3 films, that after this will be Fantastic Four in some way, shape, or form. Even though,
so.
Yeah, what? So, I mean, we could even kind of start there too. Like to start the weekend off, we got like our first group image of the cast members. Pedro Pascal posted on Instagram a picture of the 4 of them, apparently in London, getting ready to start filming. And we were all talking about it offline, like, hey, like, are they actually in London? Like, what's going on? Are they going to be at Hall H? And I mean, they have done basically exactly that in the past, where they started filming something as far away as London and like had only been filming for like a couple days, and then flew the cast out and showed footage from the little bit they had filmed. I would not be shocked if that's what they do tonight. So I'll be curious to hear from Bobby and Yasha if that's indeed what plays out.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to remember. There was a year that some film was doing something, and yeah, they flew them out. It was a year that I was there, but they've done it for multiple things before. Like, it's not unheard of for Marvel to do that, then just have their stars come and be jet lagged and all kinds of messed up. But hey, do what you gotta do.
Yeah,
you sign on for it. It's part of the gig.
Exactly. So yeah, Bobby's going to keep us up to date, and at the same time, I hope they're enjoying the panel and he's not wasting too much time texting me information. So with that in mind, I've also been kind of paying attention to 1 or 2 live blogs that have been giving some info. For example, David Harbour is at Hall H dressed as his character, the Red Guardian.
Okay.
He jokes, "We all said we're going to dress up at Comic-Con. Meanwhile, Harrison Ford is hulking out on stage."
Oh. Interesting.
So yeah, that's happening right now.
So now, is he going to be in Captain America, or is he in the Thunderbolts?
He's in Thunderbolts.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, he's on stage for Thunderbolts. Yeah.
That's what I figured.
So yeah, we're gonna keep up to date with that. Bobby will let us know what's happening. In the meantime, let's just.
Are you a little sad that you're not there to watch Florence Pugh on stage?
It is a little depressing because
Sad.
I'm sure I would get so close. I mean, hey, that one year I was in the press pit. I was right there.
Our press years there were great, man.
Yeah, no, they were
Would
good.
trade those for the world. That was amazing.
Yeah, you were like front row, right?
Yeah,
Like front row center, basically.
When I wasn't with you in the press pit, I was front row center, basically, as it turned out, and. Yeah, it was kind of funny. But yeah, I could imagine being there and being like, oh, that's Florence Pugh. Oh, that's Sebastian Stan. Like, just being like face to face with them, basically. That would be pretty cool.
No.
Oh, and Rachel Weisz. Ooh.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if they have like something. I wonder what they're going to have for them to watch for Thunderbolts.
Yeah, because we haven't seen anything for Thunderbolts
yet.
So
Anything.
yeah, I'm sure they'll get
something good.
a good look at that.
Yeah. Anyways. Digress.
So, what's been going on this weekend at that wonderful con that we've been missing out on, huh?
Has there been something really big, like a major event that's happened this week there?
Has there?
Have there been any big movie or film releases that have occurred simultaneously with this?
I feel like you're being sarcastic. What am I missing?
I'm referring to Friday night or Thursday night, really.
Oh, you're referring to Deadpool,
when Deadpool and Wolverine came out.
Yeah.
And the drone show they had over Petco Park.
Yeah, like that looked pretty sweet.
That looked amazing. Yeah. And of course, I wake up here East Coast time Friday morning and I see all this like drone footage that's happening, from the Deadpool Wolverine. I'm like, man, the 1 year we have they have this really amazing drone show there. I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, no, that looked pretty sweet.
It did.
Carlton, our friend Carlton, who's also in San Diego, I saw a lot of the stuff he posted of that because he got a good view of that from his apartment, and it looked pretty incredible. And it wasn't just like Deadpool and Wolverine stuff. They showed some like Fantastic Four. Galactus looked amazing.
Yeah, the Galactus that kind of like rose up with the drone. Like that was
nuts.
Pretty amazing. And then the Fantastic Four like emblem like emblaze like. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool. And then, of course, during that panel, they just showed the movie, right?
Yeah, they showed the whole movie.
To be in Hall H on Thursday night, just be like, yep, we're just watching it.
Which is basically what everybody was expecting they were going to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, so yeah, this is the first time one of the MCU films has actually opened the same weekend as San Diego Comic-Con. And then they like kind of last minute go, hey, we're going to do this Deadpool and Wolverine panel opening night, Thursday night. So it's like everyone was like, yeah, they're going to show the whole film.
Yeah.
Especially because they did this whole, like it wasn't just a normal, hey, you get in line to get in Hall H thing. They did this online sign up. I don't know if it was a lottery or just an online reservation system in order to get into that panel. And then I've had to make sure we are all careful with what we share with you because you actually haven't seen the movie yet.
I know the one person.
I've seen it, and I know Bobby and Yasha have seen it, but you unfortunately haven't seen it yet. You're seeing it Monday night, and you are having to be very careful this weekend because, at that panel, they showed the movie, and then I have seen posts from legitimate, like not just Joe Schmoes, but legitimate like news sites like posting the stuff they showed after they showed the movie, which they brought cast members out that were like major cameos for that film.
Right, which would be spoilers for me.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
And I've started to see some of the cast even kind of post things that would basically, they weren't super blatant, but they would let you know, like if you follow these cast members, you would be like, oh yeah, they're in that movie.
Right.
So I'm hope you're being careful.
I've not been able to get on Instagram, which is what I'm addicted to as much yesterday or today. And honestly, like, as much as I want to know things, I'm also like, I like kind of not knowing things. I really want to just go and enjoy the movie as much as I can on Monday night. And luckily, in a weird way, because it's also the Olympics started this weekend, because the Olympics are in Paris and they're ahead of us 6 hours. When things happen, they're announcing it in live time. And so I can't, I have like so many reasons to not touch my phone this weekend because I'm like, I don't want to be spoiled by anything coming out about movies that I'm looking forward to seeing or Olympic, the results of Olympics, like things that are happening. And so my phone is really, it's a phone like it used to be right now.
It's a real phone.
It's a real phone right now. I'm like, wow, it tells me the time and I can text people and call people on it right now. That's about it.
So, no new updates yet. Sounds like the Thunderbolts cast is still on stage. Bobby was kind enough to send me a photo of Florence Pugh.
Oh, did he?
On the big screen.
Oh,
what a nice guy.
Such a nice guy. Keeping you updated.
Anyway.
It's nice when we have people that have boots on the ground in situations like this. We can get all the important information.
Exactly.
What's she wearing?
I don't know. I can't tell. Something black, I think. Yeah,
I would go with her character.
It looks like a black shirt.
I would go with her character.
I see.
All right. What announcements have happened Thursday, Friday? You're definitely a little more on the pulse because I haven't been able to be so involved in my social media accounts.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I mean, I would say by the end of this live stream, most of the big announcements will have happened. I mean, there's still another day of con that happened on Sunday, but Sunday is, I wouldn't say a light day, but I guess in terms of like Hollywood kind of announcements, there's not a lot of that's going to be like revealed.
TV centric, I feel like Sundays are a little more TV centric, and it's usually,
and that used to be the case for Hall H on Fridays. Like if I remember the first few years I was going, Hall H, I think it was Fridays was like the big like HBO day and other TV kind of big announcements, and then Hall H Saturday was basically all movie studios.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know if we're going to cover things in order, but DC was there as well.
Yeah.
Of course, revealing some things. For instance, this new DC Studios that has been started with James Gunn and was it Peter Safran at the helm, co-helm. They, being a new studio, have now released or revealed what the official like DC Studios logo will be. And it's it's not necessarily anything that's going to be super surprising or anything incredibly new because they are kind of hearkening back to a previous time in DC history, which I think is pretty sweet. I like the logo quite a bit. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can see it on the screen. It's the old logo that DC Comics used from 1977 and 2005. In fact, I'll read right here from Hollywood Reporter. The company is bringing back the classic logo known as the DC Bullet that graced its publications for almost 3 decades, from 1977 to 2005. The logo was designed by Milton Glaser, the legendary graphic designer who also introduced the I Love New York logo, among other notable works. Not only was his DC logo the longest lasting, it also came at a time of a rising pop culture influence, making its impression all the more deep. I know Jim Lee continued to say, DC president and publisher Jim Lee said the logo was meant to evoke its powerful legacy while ushering in a new era of stories. So, I like the new DC Studios logo.
It's the logo that you and I have grown up with basically our whole life.
Exactly.
So for me, I'm kind of like, we're going back to classic. I like it, Yeah.
I dig it. They could have done something, tried to do something completely different, but I'm not surprised that they didn't go that route. I figured they would. I guess I hadn't really thought about like, oh, what are they going to do with the logo? It really wasn't something that had crossed my mind. But if I had thought about it, I probably would have guessed that this is what he was going to do.
It definitely makes sense the way James Gunn is really harkening back to, we'll call them the olden days of comics. And so yeah, it's not surprising he chose the original logo. I'm cool with it. Not original logo, but
another going back to Hall H. Another update. I guess they showed them a trailer for Thunderbolts. Bobby said, "Showed a trailer. Team meets each other for the first time and fight each other. They were set up by someone to try and take each other out."
Oh. So now who officially starts the Thunderbolts? Is that the character of Julia Louis-Dreyfus who kind of starts that up?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. So, sounds like they're moving right along in Hall H. Going back to DC, though, since we're kind of jumping all around, we also got our first look at an actual, like, DC Studios universe, like, property, which is animated to start off with, and that's going to be Creature Commandos. They showed a first trailer for Creature Commandos, which is going to be on Max. You can watch it online. I'll put a link to it down here in the show notes after we're live. But what did you think of it? We watched it yesterday. What did you think of the trailer?
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like, I know nothing about Creature Commandos, but I watched the trailer and was like, oh, I'm down with this. Like, especially because they have the bride from Frankenstein, and then also they have the Frankenstein's monster. I was like, this is cool. And then they have other creatures from other, I guess, goings deeper into the comic world. But I was like, yeah, okay, this looks like fun. Like, I'm down with it. And then, like, yeah, the list of, like, the actors doing the voices, it was a very quick screen, and catching it, I saw Alan Tudyk's name, and then knowing that the character, I'm like, he's got to be doing Weasel. I haven't even looked this up to verify this yet, but I'm like, he's got to be doing Weasel, because that just kind of makes sense. Alan Tudyk voicing a character, and Weasel's not very, I don't know, wordy.
Tudyk voices Dr. Phosphorus.
Oh, I'm way off then. Interesting. Yeah. Dr. Phosphorus.
I'm reading that just now. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I was making a huge guess.
No,
so Phosphorus is the guy that's like
sense. That's what I would have guessed.
Yeah, Phosphorus is the guy that's like a skeleton that looks like he's glowing, like with like, I don't know, nuclear light or something.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, sure.
We know nothing about this one.
I'll read.
But it looks interesting.
I'll read a quick description from Variety. The Creature Commando characters, a team of military superhumans, were first launched on the page in 1980. The original premise follows Frankenstein's monster teaming up with a werewolf, vampire, and Gorgon to fight Nazis in World War II. Gunn's TV version adds Weasel, a character from Gunn's The Suicide Squad, and Rick Flag Sr. as part of the Commandos.
Okay.
So a little twist, but
yeah,
I dig it. I mean, it's not like I was beholden to the original Creature Commandos. I wasn't even familiar with them, so
not a clue. No. But the trailer looked good. The animation looks fresh and different and fun.
Totally.
I like it.
Yeah, no, I like it. I'm of course looking forward to our first look at something live action from DC Studios, and that'll be Superman. Would be nice. But yeah, I didn't think there was necessarily a chance we were going to get a look at that this weekend at anything.
Maybe next summer.
Well, I mean, it'll be coming out next summer.
That's true.
So yeah, I think we hit a year out like just the other day.
Oh, really?
Like, it was like a week or two ago. Wow. I know he posted that like on this day next year, you guys will be seeing Superman. So yeah, we're technically, I think, just a hair less than a year away from that movie.
Wow. That's amazing.
Let's see. Oh, yep. Fantastic Four is next. Bobby has shown a picture of the official title, which I think we've seen before. I can't put it up
like
here
what
on
the
screen.
Right? Is it like what the drone show showed, kind of?
No, I mean.
Oh, that logo. Yeah,
that kind
they've
of
shown
like
that.
retro looking.
It's very retro from the comics.
Yeah.
And which they actually alluded to, I think, when they first kind of announced who was going to be playing the characters a few months ago, and they had like imagery of them looking very retro. So that makes sense. So it's the old retro Fantastic Four logo if you're familiar with the comics.
Yeah. Yeah. So Fantastic Four is definitely next.
Exciting times. I
Very
wish I was
exciting.
there.
If only we were actually there.
Only we could be
We are
there.
living vicariously through Bobby and Yasha. What else happened so far this weekend? There was a big Rings of Power trailer. I know
Yes.
there's already been a trailer. This isn't like the first trailer for season 2.
Right.
But they dropped a new trailer at Comic-Con. And it indeed looks epic.
Stuff is going down in this season. Like you can tell.
can just see money in that trailer, like budget and money and money. Bezos all over that trailer.
Bezos is he's just, sliding it off his hands.
Yeah, no. I'll say first, as a Lord of the Rings fan, but I'm also, going to be clear. It's not like I am super familiar with all the books, like a major, like hardcore Tolkien fan.
You're not like Stephen Colbert?
I am not like Stephen Colbert.
Okay.
So that's where I come at Lord of the Rings from. I love the films. The Hobbit movies were fine. And I guess it should say a lot that I still, to this day, and I think you're in the same boat, have not seen the final Hobbit movie. Which,
Nope.
if you had
The
told,
Battle of Five Armies? Nope.
if you had told me back when the Lord of the Rings movies were out or coming out, and I mean, I was way into that back then. Those movies, I think we all were. It was
Oh,
it was
yeah.
insane.
It was a thing.
If you had told me back then that, hey, they're going to, after this, a few years down the road, they're going to make The Hobbit into some films, and you're not even going to watch one of them, I'd be like, fuck off. There's
You're
no way.
full of lies.
Full of shit. Like, yeah, but nope. To this day, I still haven't seen the last movie. But anyway, my point being, the first season of Rings of Power, that's where I come at it from, and I thought it was fine. Overall, I actually did enjoy the series. I'm not saying I thought it was great or anything, but I was curious episode to episode what was going on because I just like this world. It's just nice to be in Middle Earth,
Yeah.
I guess. And with season 2, it's not like I've been like, man, when is season 2 coming out? I can't wait. God, is it here yet? I really haven't been. But, watching this trailer, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm definitely going to watch. Is it a little weird that, I guess we've got this, but then we're also going to get like a movie kind of in the existing kind of world of Lord of the Rings that we got from Warner Brothers. We got the new movie that was announced and stuff, but anyway, no, I thought it looked pretty good. What'd you think?
I will say season 1, I feel like had its ups and downs, but overall I enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it a little more than you did. And I actually have been kind of looking forward to season 2. I've been wanting to see this story develop and grow, and I've been really curious to see how it's going to continue on and move forward. And the first trailer that they gave us, I don't know, what was that, like a month or two ago?
I think so, yeah.
6 weeks ago, maybe. I was watching it going, okay, this looks okay. Yeah, this looks good. But I was kind of felt like a little lacklustery. And then they dropped this trailer for it. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
all the things are happening. Huge battles,
crazy.
it looks like. It looks very intense. Very intense. And it looks good. Bezos is putting money into it and it shows. No, I'm very excited for this show, and I'm looking forward to watching this one.
Yeah, no, totally agree. That's coming October, or what am I saying? October, August 29th, I believe, is when that comes back to Amazon Prime.
Bring it.
So, or Prime Video. Anyway, however you're supposed to refer to it. Okay, so an update from Bobby and Hall H.
Hall H update.
They did show teaser footage. He said, has a 60s film quality look, silhouette of the Thing shown, and quick tease look at Galactus looking comic book accurate.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
that's exciting.
And he just sent a picture of it. Does appear that that is the cast on stage. So yes, there they are. If they were in London, they are no longer in London. They
They
are in San
flew
Diego.
to San Diego and then they're
Um,
gonna fly back to London and continue shooting.
so yep, there they are. They are.
That's awesome.
It's pretty sweet. Yeah, I mean, apparently that's the last thing, but it wouldn't shock me if we get a typical Marvel, Apple, one more thing
One
kind
more
of
thing.
moment.
We'll give it a few more minutes and see what happens.
Yeah, they got the panel started like slightly late. I don't think they started until like 10 after or 15 after. So even though it's almost the top of the hour, I won't be shocked if it still has like a good 15 minutes left of this panel.
Right. Okay.
And I think Kevin Smith is doing his Saturday night panel again.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he is
Oh,
doing
yeah.
it tonight. So,
So-
I don't know if Bobby and Yasha are staying in there for that. Yeah, I know Bobby normally has in the past when I was there with him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we were there
Yeah.
for Kevin Smith's thing last time. Yeah.
So, anyway. What else? A Boys prequel series was announced. It's going to be called Vault Rising.
Okay.
Going to star, and I'll pull this up on the screen. Jensen Ackles, is that how you say his name? Mm-hmm. And Aya Cash, who we have seen in a previous season of The Boys. It has been, I think, a full season order by Prime Video.
Oh, wow.
I'll just read here. The Boys universe is expanding in a big way with its first spin-off starring actors from the hugely popular Prime Video superhero series. Jensen Ackles and Aya Cash are set to headline and produce Vault Rising, a prequel to the Mothership series, in which they will reprise their characters from The Boys, Soldier Boy and Stormfront, respectively.
Okie dokie. So yeah, this is the like older like Vought group of the five, I guess, or the original five before it was
Yeah.
literally called the five. I guess
Before they were the seven, you mean?
the seven. I'm sorry. So yeah, I guess this is like before they were the seven, and Soldier Boy was the lead, and
Right.
it's all interesting.
Yep. We just finished the most recent season of The Boys. Not that
Yeah.
we're going to get into like a review of that or anything, but we actually have not watched Gen V yet. We need to watch Gen V.
We should watch
That's
Gen
going to be the
V.
next move for sure. I don't know about you. I mean, I guess I do. We have talked about this, but it's not like I was watching this season of The Boys and feeling lost because we hadn't watched Gen V.
No, I didn't feel like I was
fine.
like left out of information or like, yeah, no. I was totally fine.
Yeah.
Not having, so far that I know of, I feel like I was totally fine with it.
Right.
I have to say, I am kind of curious about this spinoff with kind of, I guess, their original team for these superheroes. I don't know how this one's going to go. And I say that, and like, Jensen Ackles as Soldier Boy from last season was a really great character, honestly. It was really interesting to watch him be really just kind of a psychopath. But I don't know. I have kind of mixed feelings on this show. Like, I'm not saying I'm like, ooh, no, but I'm like, I don't know. Could it be, is it going to hold up to the same kind of level that I think The Boys is at?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my question.
Well, there's a quote here from one of the showrunners. It's a twisted murder mystery about the origins of Vought in the 1950s, the early exploits of Soldier Boy, and the diabolical maneuvers of a soup known to fans as Stormfront, who is then going by the name Clara Vought. They said, adding, "We cannot wait to blow your minds and trouble your souls with this salacious, grisly saga drenched in blood and Compound V."
Okay.
I mean,
It sounds interesting, but yeah, I still have hesitations. What's the update in Hall H?
Bobby said, and I know I'm not the Marvel guy. I'm not familiar with all this, so I guess I'm reading this right. The Fantasticar, is that a thing? They
Yeah.
have a car.
Yes.
Fantasticar makes its introduction.
Okay.
Oh, and then I guess kind of moving on from Fantastic Four, something that was Bobby and I talked about on our last episode that was kind of spoiled, I think, for Hall H. I think it was Hollywood Reporter that reported that the Russo brothers were coming back. And yeah, the Russo brothers come on stage to officially announce they are directing the next two Avengers movies. So
Officially announced it.
Yeah.
Wow.
but yeah, when Bobby and I talked about that last episode, it was like, well, that had to have been something they wanted to reveal Hall H, and then it got scooped before Comic-Con happened. But hey, that's reporting. That's what happens.
What happens.
But yep, sounds like it's official.
Well, that's exciting, actually.
Oh, and it looks like there's a. Oh yeah, they got a logo of Avengers: Secret Wars.
Really, a logo they're showing. Oh wow. Okay. That's
Secret Wars is the second movie.
It's interesting. The color scheme for that is very now I can't think. He Who Remains kind of color schemey.
Yeah.
But we also know that that's not the way it's going anymore.
Well, the first Avengers movie was supposed to be Kang Dynasty.
Right.
And it sounds like they're about to, or they were right now revealing, what it is going to be instead. And I'm waiting for Bobby to tell me. He has not said yet.
The colors of that image are very kind of Kangy colors.
But yeah, that's
interesting.
But yeah, I mean, we're both looking at a picture Bobby has sent us. It's the Avengers Secret Wars logo. Everything's like purple and
yeah.
And I'm waiting for him to say what the first film is going to be.
Man.
Nothing yet.
So, what else do you have for news?
Star Trek.
I see that across your screen.
there was a decent amount of Star Trek stuff. Actually, I'll go to Dexter. Have you heard about the Dexter stuff?
Well, I knew that there was going to be a new Dexter show.
Yeah, there's going to be, it's like a prequel series, Original Sin.
Well, and it's funny because just before the show started, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Why is Christian Slater on the IMDb boat? David, do you know why?
Oh, is it for Dexter?
It's for Dexter. So it turns out, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense. So yeah, what is it called? Dexter Original Sin? Is that what it is? I think that's what it's called, Dexter Original Sin. You must be getting updates from Holly H.
I am. I know. I can now say what I can. I wish I could hold my phone up to the screen,
but don't.
Oh, I will. Here,
okay.
Avengers Doomsday.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So it looks like they've got the Russo brothers are standing there in this photo, and they've got people in like Doctor Doom costumes standing behind them.
Dude, I hope we're not gonna get sued.
Oh, we're not gonna get sued. Like, and you're talking about it in terms of like showing stuff. No,
it's out there now.
It's out there.
It'll be online in 30 seconds from now. The official logo will be loaded somewhere.
No,
so your camera shot is not.
From my experience, the stuff that they show in Hall H is all like when they're like, "Hey, don't share this." It's all about like video.
That's true.
They don't really care about like when they show logos.
Wow.
And stuff like that, they don't seem to have an issue with
Look at that. They got all these little Dr. Dooms on the stage with them.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Oh my God. That is so exciting. Oh, Doom is such a good villain, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm excited. That was smart of them to do the Fantastic Four and then basically follow up with the Avengers with... Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm excited. Okay.
Let's see if he said it. Nope, nothing yet. He's probably losing his mind or something.
He's probably losing his... I'm losing my mind a little bit. Like, the kid in me reading these comics, and I used to really enjoy reading Fantastic Four when I was younger. And then, like, I used to watch... There was a cartoon version from, I think, the 60s or 70s that I'd watch sometimes.
Yeah.
And, yeah, oh my gosh. That is so cool. Victor Von Doom. Oh my God. That's awesome.
I don't know if...
That's exciting.
I don't know if I can get on the screen there, the picture of the...
Yeah, it's in focus.
It's in focus. Of the Dooms.
Yeah, you can see it with the Dooms.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Oh my God. That's so exciting.
Anyway, so yeah, I've got to imagine that's basically probably the end of the panel. But we'll see.
I mean, not to make fun of 20th Century Fox, but like, it's nice to have a vindication a little bit of the Fantastic Four and Doctor Doom and this is exciting. Sorry. Okay.
No.
Man. All right, what were we talking about? Dexter.
Dexter. I guess.
Dexter, I guess. Dexter Original Sin, right?
Well, we've known about Original Sin. I guess it, from the stuff I've been reading about what they announced, I wasn't that familiar with what's going on with Dexter Original Sin, but I'll be honest, I think I kind of assumed that he was going to be like a narrator, and I'm saying Michael C. Hall. I assumed it was going to be a narrator on that because it's, from my understanding, about like when he was younger. And it's another actor playing him, that character.
Okay.
But yeah, I guess it was officially announced he's returning as a narrator on Original Sin. But then the other big announcement was that they are also going to have him return in a new series called Dexter Resurrection.
Okay. Because they didn't, a few years ago, they had another Dexter, like a Return to Dexter kind of thing.
I don't think so.
He's like in Alaska or something.
Oh. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw you off.
No, you
I'm
throw
sorry.
me off now. No. You're fine. Like, because I never watched that. And I mean, it's funny. We've talked about Dexter. Because you've never really watched Dexter. You started watching season 1 with me.
I think we got into season 2.
Did we? Did we finish season 1? I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
I watched Dexter pretty religiously back when it was out, and I loved that show. And then to this day, have never watched the final season. I don't know. I think the show after season 4 was kind of going downhill in a way where I started to lose interest. And then by the time we got to that final season, I don't know. I just never felt the big need to watch it. Maybe I was just busy in my life then. I don't know.
I was kind of jumping the shark for you. Okay, in 2021 to 2022, 10 episodes, Dexter, New Blood. I think that's when they went to Alaska, and I think he might have a family, I think.
So I guess it was in that
Something.
that he dies. Spoiler alert.
10 years after faking his death in Miami and moving to upstate New York under the assumed name, Dexter gets an unexpected visit from the son he abandoned. I'm reading this as of IMDb's website. I feel like at this point, it's 2 years old. I can just say that.
And I'll just keep holding up things to the camera.
There's more.
There's more. Bobby it's just an image that shows dates for the 2 movies. Avengers Doomsday is May 2026. Avengers Secret Wars is May 2027. So you can see that there.
I'm so excited.
Sorry, I know we're jumping all over the place, but hey, the Marvel panel is happening right now. So
that's what's going on at this exact moment. Okay, so they dropped King Dynasty and they're going with Doomsday.
Yep, they're going with Doomsday. I think a wise choice.
A wise choice at this juncture.
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyway, yeah, back to Dexter.
I feel like we're pooping on Dexter. We're not intentionally trying to.
Oh no, I mean I loved Dexter. I just never watched that final season. And then I guess he faked his death at the end of
the original
Dexter,
series.
And then there was New Blood, but then apparently he dies at the end of New Blood, is my understanding. And now
a new series
somehow comes back
Resurrection.
in Dexter Resurrection.
It all comes
I did come across an interview that I didn't read today. I think it was with Hollywood Reporter or Variety, where he is apparently probably cryptically explaining like how he's back in this new series. I didn't read it, so I don't know what he says to them. But I know there's some interview out there somewhere, I guess, with him trying to explain like how is it that there is a new series with you in it,
right? Which he probably couldn't
keep dying.
He probably couldn't get into it because he was like, guys, just give it like a few days. I can tell you all about it.
Just watch the show when it comes out. Give me a chance.
Yeah. Okay.
So there was that.
I mean, I know there are some major diehard Dexter fans, and I don't begrudge them at all. What I have watched of Dexter was very interesting and very entertaining.
Yeah.
It's a little dated-ish a little now, but yeah, no, it was good. Star Trek. Or Hall H.
No, nothing new from Hall H. I have to imagine that's it. I would be shocked if there's anything else. They're probably walking out by now, but I haven't heard. So nothing new from Hall H. But yeah, as we mentioned a few minutes ago, there was a lot of Star Trek stuff at a Comic-Con
Star Trek.
this weekend. Um, I'm going to start with this Star Trek Section 31. We've heard of this. We knew this was coming. This is going to be a 4 TV or 4 Paramount Plus movie. So this is not coming to theaters, but it's a
Right.
Star Trek movie. I should also say that we might both be terrible people to really talk about this because even though I think I don't think I'm a Star Trek fan. I know I'm a Star Trek fan, but I have not watched everything. In other words, I have not watched Star Trek Discovery. So I'm not really familiar with this whole Section 130 31 storyline. And Michelle Yeoh is in this, and I guess they revealed a new trailer. We watched it. You can watch it on YouTube right now. What did you think of that? Out of curiosity, I'm showing like an image from the trailer on the screen now if you're watching on YouTube. But
I mean, I did watch the first season of Discovery. And so my initial reaction as we were watching this was like, wait a second. She was a captain in Discovery. What's happening right now? So
like, super confused.
I don't know. And I don't know about Section 31. I don't know. But I was watching this trailer and I'm just trying to piece together what the heck is going on with it. And it looks like she has compiled a group of people that maybe not be the most, I don't know, morally high grounded people, I guess is the best way I could put that. They look like, in a Star Wars territory, kind of, they're scoundrels, it looks like. Kind of. And she's formulating this team to accomplish something, I'm sure, in some way, shape. I don't know. This trailer is very vague.
I was like, is this like Star Trek's version of like Suicide Squad or something?
Yes, that's
like,
exactly kind of what I was thinking. I was like, I don't know what's happening here, but okay. I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
I don't know about this one. And I love Michelle Yeoh, but I don't know about this one.
As a Star Trek fan for a long time, and I'm not trying to like age myself here and sound like the whole like Gene Roddenberry is turning over in his grave, but part of me wonders when I see something like this. I'm like, is Gene Roddenberry turning over in his grave? I'm like, I don't know, like.
Yeah. I mean, we've had a whole discussion about like, Star Trek has some very serious moments throughout the original series and the films, and there's seriousness and there's silliness that they always have. There's always a fun element to Star Trek, and there's always a silly comic side to Star Trek that's always existed since it started. This just looks, I don't even know what this looks like.
I don't either. It probably doesn't help that I'm not familiar with what is even happening here.
I'm not either. Yeah.
Part of me feels like maybe if I'd watched all of Discovery, I would watch this and go, okay, I'm curious to see where some storyline in Discovery goes into this movie. Fine.
Right.
But as from the perspective of a Star Trek fan who has not seen Discovery, or very little of it, I shouldn't say I haven't seen it at all. I have seen like the first couple episodes, I think. But I watched this trailer and I go, what is this? Like,
yeah,
this is, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. And I don't know that I'm interested. And I would say at this point, I'm not interested in this.
I would agree.
Strange New Worlds has been the new show that I've definitely been interested in because it feels the most like Star Trek to me.
It feels like classic Star Trek that has been dialed up to a newer audience in a way. Like it's
definitely for our time now, but
Yes.
at the same time, it still feels like Star Trek.
It has a classic-y feel to it, but in an updated way. I mean, it sounds very contract but yeah, no. Strange New Worlds is. I'm really loving Strange New Worlds.
I was trying to see really quick when I'm not familiar with a release date for Section 31.
Section
I guess
31.
I see here early 2025.
Right.
So
okay,
we're still a little ways away from it. Now, yeah, we also got a first look, kind of not it's more like a scene, I guess, from season 3 of Strange New Worlds.
Like a scene of an episode.
Yeah, which I mean, yeah, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can see an image of what the captain looks like in this clip, which Michelle's reaction should tell you plenty.
It's so ridiculous.
Before I watched the clip, I had seen this image, and I think I saw another image of like the 4 of them. It's this whole scene where they are having to turn themselves Vulcan for a period of time. Which right there off the bat, I go, what? Like, what are we doing here? I mean, the clip is fine. It's
silly.
Cute, I guess it's silly.
It's part of the silly fun
right.
that happens in Star Trek from time to time. We don't have a ton of like, what exactly is happening. We don't have a lot of reference information, but you're watching the scene and you're just like, this is just them being goofy, basically. But it's fun.
I mean, they've done a musical episode of Strange New Worlds. It's not like this is totally out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly.
But still, I don't know. I watched it and I was like...
I'll be honest. I think it's the hair. I think it's Pike's hair.
He in particular. Though at the same time, there's a scene in the clip where they're walking down in these like Vulcan kind of like uniforms.
War outfits.
He's carrying that like, not that a scythe kind of like, it's that Vulcan weapon you see in like the original series.
Right, with like the blade is like a fan.
Yeah, the curved blade on the end. And he's got this, he's walking down with it like over his shoulders. He looks kind of like a badass with this weapon.
Unless you pay attention to the hair.
Yeah, unless you get a close up of his hair and his ears, it just looks it looks like something else, man.
I mean, like, yeah, the hair's the higher to God, apparently.
But then in another announcement,
flat top. It's so ridiculous.
In another announcement, I think that came out of Comic-Con, which also is in the vein of what is Star Trek doing these days.
Right.
There is apparently going to be a Star Trek live-action comedy series. It's in development from Tawny Newsome and Justin Simeon,
I think.
Simeon. I'm reading from Variety. Actor-writer Tawny Newsome and writer-director Justin Simeon are developing a new live-action comedy set in the world of the storied sci-fi franchise. The show will be set in the 25th century. According to an official logline, it will follow Federation outsiders serving a gleaming resort planet find out their day-to-day exploits are being broadcast to the entire quadrant.
Oh, a resort planet. That's kind of like Next Gen. What was that planet called where they'd go for a vacation?
Oh, I don't remember the name of that planet, but I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're
referring to. Oh, interesting. That's really interesting. You know what's funny is I remember when we were at Comic-Con last year and the director, Justin Simeon, because he was there on the director's panel, that panel we went to for directors.
Oh, that's him.
Yes.
Oh,
he's the one that did Dear White People and the new Haunted Mansion, which he couldn't really talk about. He kind of talked about it. He couldn't really talk about it. It was a whole thing.
I like that guy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. And he had said something about him being kind of a geek and he liked Star Trek. And I remember sitting there in that panel thinking, I'm like, wow, okay, this guy really is pretty diverse in his, stuff that he enjoys. So this tracks completely. Now, like, I'm almost like, wow, he knew this was coming down the pipe almost.
Or at least he was hoping that maybe he was developing it himself.
Correct. Yep. That's why he dropped that little nugget of information at that panel last year.
Yep.
Yeah, because it was the panel with the director, the one that did Godzilla, and then the one the movie. The creator.
Yes, that's the name
director.
I cannot think of. Yes.
That director. That was a good panel.
That was a very good panel.
It was a very good panel, actually. It was highly enjoyable.
That was one of those panels last year that we were like, well, we'll see if we can get in. And we got in, and it ended up being amazing.
It was, it was one of those panels that's what Comic-Con's about to me, is having directors come together and talk about stuff. I don't know. It was an excellent panel. Anyways, That's him.
Yeah,
Yes.
I remember now. Anyway, that's really all I had. I mean, there's obviously lots of
There's
stuff.
so much news.
But, for me, some of
Those
the
are the
bigger
big
stuff, those were kind of bigger items that I kind of noticed that I thought were worth mentioning. But there's plenty other, lots of other news. I know we've watched a little bit of the live feed on IGN on their YouTube. If
Yeah.
you're kind of like us, you're not there, but you kind of wish you were there, and you just kind of want to like watch
the vibes.
watch some kind of live interviews, even though I don't think most of the interviews are actually live. From there, it's kind of a cool feed to watch.
IMDb already they put up all their videos on their website too. You can watch a
True.
lot of content there from when they interview people on the boat, and they'll upload videos pretty quickly. I think. I don't know if they live stream the interviews, but I think they basically do the interview and then they upload it almost immediately while they're doing the next interview. So
Right.
that's pretty up to date too. And those are always really interesting because usually they are people that are either just leaving a major panel in the convention, or they're going to leave the IMDb boat and then go into a panel. So it's always like one way or the other. So you're catching them coming or going. It's always relevant to what's happening at the con.
Right.
So it's always a good one to watch too.
You wanna go back to San Diego next year? Miss it?
I miss the weather a lot. No, I miss San Diego. I love San Diego as a city as a whole, and con is always really fun. It's a bummer that we didn't go this year because the Marvel panel returned.
Yeah. We'll go next year and it won't be there.
Correct. So we'll
We're
go.
doomed to never see another Marvel panel again.
Do you know I've never seen a Marvel panel?
I guess I forgot that they didn't do one when you were there.
I've never seen a Marvel panel.
Oh man, that's a bummer.
They've had Marvel panels while I've been there, but that was like the first year, and I only had a pass for Sunday. So I waited in line so that you guys could go in and go to a Marvel panel.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. But I've never been to a Marvel panel. Now, I've been to really cool Warner Brothers panels, and that was amazing.
And in terms of like production quality of the actual panel, I would say Marvel doesn't do it like Warner Brothers. But they don't need to. Like
Correct. They don't.
Like Marvel does such a great job at just getting everyone excited with the stuff they announce, and then like the people they'll have come out in actual character, like when Tom Hiddleston came out as Loki. I was there for that.
Yeah,
it was incredible. The times Robert Downey Jr. has appeared, and just the energy he brings to the room, like just knowing like what the fans want to see. And but yeah, Warner Brothers does a whole different.
Warner Brothers does a show,
of, like,
man.
The screens at the sides, and it's nuts.
Warner Brothers puts on a show at Comic-Con. I will say that was a really cool thing to be there for that. Honestly, I was like, well, this is all I'm gonna get. I'm okay with it.
Totally.
I would like to go back next year, but I can also understand that it might not be a thing next year, but maybe the year after that. I don't know. For us, there's a lot of factors,
Oh, there's a lot of factors, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those things too that's so hard to get a badge unless
it is so hard to get a badge.
San Diego Comic-Con decides to grace us with press badges again,
which we're very open to.
We are very open to that.
Just putting that out there.
But unless they do, I guess I take the perspective of if it's meant to be, I'll get a badge. So I'll probably try to get a badge. And if we get badges, I'll be like, well,
we'll make it happen.
We are going to San Diego, and if we don't, hey, all right, that's fine. We'll do this again.
It's pretty much
this is fun.
Or maybe we'll go and just enjoy the weather and hang out.
I've thought about that too. It's always a good time to just be there anyway.
It's always fun to be in Gaslamp and enjoy everything.
So much to see in the Gaslamp area. Like, did you see the fire?
I was just about to say that. The fire at the Penguin.
Yeah, the Penguin
Chill Lounge.
Yeah,
from HBO, and there was a fire there apparently.
Yeah. I mean, real quick, for those, if you've never been to San Diego Comic-Con and you're not familiar with this, I mean, we won't get way into it, but there's all these, I think they call them offsites, all these, like...
promotional.
Like the promotional kind of things that are like built in like the various restaurants and stuff in the gas lamp studios will like basically take over these locations for the weekend.
It's like a little immersive room kind of a thing.
Yeah, and you usually go into some of them and experience what their various like IP that they're trying to promote. And I guess there was one set up for the Penguin that's coming to Max, or technically, well, it's coming to HBO Max, HBO and Max. Anyway.
That's a whole
And
complicated
I'd seen an image on Instagram of like one person was like, "Hey, like be careful in the gas lamp," and it was like a picture of smoke billowing, and I'm like, "What's going on?" And then like pretty soon after that, started to see word that I guess the roof of wherever the Penguin thing was caught on fire or something happened.
It was supposed to be like they had the AC cranked, so it was supposed to be like a chilled environment. So I'm like, did the air conditioner on the roof of the I don't know. I'm literally speculating, but I know that the whole idea was that it was a lounge and it was supposed to be a quote unquote, and I used chill lounge, and so they dropped the temperature in there.
Right.
So because it's the Penguin, even though this penguin isn't like that penguin from our kid, anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was crazy.
But they have cool immersive things like that throughout the gas lamp. So even if you go to San Diego during Comic-Con and you never even step foot in the convention center, you can still do other things all around the gas lamp area that are, it's different IPs that are showing up all over the place, different promotional things all the time. It's pretty fun. If you have a day and you don't mind hanging out in lines for a little bit, it'll get you, it'll reward you in the end.
Yeah. Yeah, you could totally go to San Diego and enjoy yourself without a badge.
Maybe we'll do that.
And maybe we will do that even if we don't get a badge. I think the big complication now is just finding hotel rooms that you can afford, or even Airbnbs or such. That's what we've done in the past, is get Airbnbs, and we've also been lucky enough to know people who live in San Diego and stay with them.
Because even the Airbnbs in the last 2 years have raised their rates. Like, I looked into the same Airbnbs we'd already previously stayed at because we've had really good success, and their rates have almost doubled for those specific. And I was like, man, I mean, I liked your Airbnb, but it was appropriately priced the first time.
Right.
This is a bit much. So I can only imagine what the hotels are doing.
If I know, like, if there were a year where it was like, okay, we were able to get a badge and we don't know anybody to stay with, I mean, I have no issues going back to what I did the first 2 or 3 years I went when I was going by myself. And I would just stay basically right outside of San Diego. Like, I stayed in La Jolla once. I stayed farther north of that another year. And I would just drive to one of the parking areas for the trolley, one of the trolley stations, and just ride the trolley right up to the convention center. And I never had an issue with that.
Park at Old Town and take the trolley in from there.
That, or I've parked at the stadium. I know it was called Qualcomm at the time. I think it's called something else now. I have no idea. You could park there, just take the trolley in. So I know it's possible to just, if you're willing to not necessarily stay in the heart of San Diego. Which, don't get me wrong, is great, but
it is great,
but it can be done.
Yeah, I mean, it's this whole conversation of the hotels are price gouging. The the Airbnb situation is also price gouging. Everybody is price gouging, and at some point, it's got to hit a ceiling. One would think. And when it hits that ceiling, what's going to happen? Is it that everything's just going to go back down to normal? Or is it that the con's going to go, we just can't keep doing this anymore. We've outgrown the convention center years ago. The hotels are all price gouging and nobody's going to budge on this. Why are we still in San Francisco? Who knows when that day will be, but
or in San Diego,
San Diego. And sorry. And like at some point they'll say, I don't know, somebody's got to give at some point. I don't know when that point's going to be, but that's a whole other conversation.
Totally. Well, thanks for joining me for this.
Yeah.
It's fun. we are curious to hear from all of you. What did you think? If you are curious, yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. Leave any questions, comments down below here on YouTube. We would love to hear from you, and we are excited to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine very soon. Once all of us has seen it, Michelle.
I mean, there's other people that are, doing con things right now, and they can't really even talk about it,
No, yeah, we'll probably be doing an episode on that pretty soon, so look out for that. It's probably sometime this week, I'm sure. I'm looking forward to discussing that. I am looking forward to you seeing this movie. Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing this movie.
That is all I'll say. I think I've kind
excited.
of kept my cards pretty close to the chest and not really revealed too much
You're
to
very
you
good about
how I feel about the movie. But I mean, you asked, hey, would I see it again? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I'll see this movie again.
Right.
So yeah, our plan is to see it Monday night. So yeah, look out for our thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine very soon. Again, we would love to hear from you. Leave any questions or comments down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. That would help us out immensely. And you can also find us on Twitter or X or Instagram at Flickr_effect. You can reach out to us there if you like. With that, I'm Dave Lott.
And I'm Michelle Hillard.
Thanks for listening and watching, everybody. Bye-bye.